Fred Schwartz. Welcome to MHO Hotel Insight, where our distinguished panelists keep you well informed. I'm sitting here with Mahendra Patel, founder of MHO Hotels, and Matul Patel, co-owner of Ramayan Supply. Matul, I'd like to turn a couple questions over to you. I understand that you are a second-generation owner of a 30-year-old company started by your dad, Vinod Patel. Can you provide some background on your company, on how it started and how it grew to be so successful? I understand that you have over 2,000 customers.
Thanks, Fred. Yeah, this is kind of one of my favorite things to talk about. You know, when we have employees and just about how the company started. There's a lot of pride in that, a lot of hard work that's gone through the years. But the company was started by my father, Vinod Patel, in the early 90s, in 1992 in Columbia, South Carolina. At that time, there was another supplier there. And, in this business, it's a very labor-intensive type of business. So, you're picking up 100-pound bales of bath towels or cases of shampoo and soap, and he needed help. He was getting burned out, and so he reached out to my father, who was a friend of his at that time, and asked him for some help. Well, at that time, my father had a large network of many Gujarati Americans that were just getting into the hotel business. And if we remember, during the 80s and early 90s, that's when the boom really started to take off. So naturally he thought, hey, this would be a great fit. I've got a high network of the Gujarati community that I know that are in this business, and let me give it a shot. And the funny thing is that he met a lot of these people at these volleyball tournaments. They have these volleyball tournaments, and if any Asian Americans watching this, you know what I'm talking about. Weddings, parties, gatherings, and his name, and there was not a lot of suppliers at that time, so I think you had those circumstances coming together to make it successful.
What is your target audience to the hotel owners? Can you service a guy who owns a 42-room independent hotel?
Sure, that's been kind of our bread and butter. Is the mid-level franchises, your Super 8, your Days Inn, Red Roof Inn, the independent guys too that have 30 or 40 rooms. We're happy to take care of them, and that's where our roots actually started. And now hopefully MHO, we're getting excited about that, to work with them. Yeah.
Let me turn to Mahendra Patel, founder of MHO Hotels. So with items for MHO Hotels, are there mandates, are there logo requirements?
Yeah, Fred, that's a great question. We do requirement, but our logo item is not required at all. The only thing logo item required is a uniform. In our room supplies, like cups, soaps, and all that, we don't require that. And the only benefit for that is it's going to cost more than whatever the normal price, with 30% more than what you're paying for them when you put logo on it. And we don't know that more than that,
right.
How much cost that, yeah. And we realized, because our MHO's goal was ROI. Only way we can control we get better ROI if expense will be less. And that's what our goal was, that to do no logo item required. And our standard is still there. Standard requirement is there. Okay, what is it, how much weight need, what size need, all that thing we have requirement is still there.
With so many suppliers in our industry, you have to distinguish yourself also, because there's a lot of people that shake hands with a lot of different people and they know each other. So right. How were you able to do it with Ramayan Supply?
Yeah, I think the backbone of our success has been, our Gujarati customers. As we discussed before, there's been a tremendous growth in the hotel market, with a lot of Asian Americans taking over the hotel industry, and I think almost like 50-60% now. So there's been a lot of organic growth, just by word of mouth. But we truly feel that we're a family-owned business, and we try to provide that personalized service, where customers can call us even after hours and place an order with us if we're not available on the phone lines. And I think providing that white glove service has really allowed us to be successful with some of these bigger giants in the industry. And also, I think language is a big part of this, because you have a lot of first-generation Americans or immigrants coming over. Sometimes they'll have some challenges speaking English, and a lot of our salespeople speak Gujarati, and they feel that it's a lot easier to conduct business in that language. So that I feel has been a core reason why we have been successful.
Well, language certainly is,
Yeah.
but I'm sure your product offerings and how you execute is right there, second to none. So tell us some of the new product offerings. Anything to talk about as far as something innovative that could help hotel owners?
Yeah, we're seeing platform bed frames. I think about 50% of the industry is now moving towards this. We're seeing dispensary systems, these airport trolleys, trying to get away from your standard bellman carts that you might see at these hotels, which are very expensive. So that's kind of the new trend we're seeing.
So why would bed frames and dispensary systems be so popular for the hotel industry?
Yeah, well, I'll talk about platform bed frames first. What is a platform bed frame? I mean, it's all metal. 100%. Yep. There's no requirement for box spring. So now, traditionally, where you would have a box spring to put the mattress on top, that's gone. You're saving $100 right there. The other reason that the bed frames are gaining popularity is everyone's trying to get away from the bed bug issues right now. I mean, that's a big nightmare for everybody. So the all steel platform bed frame allows to reduce some of those issues. And the reason why is bed bugs are typically attracted to warmer areas, warmer climates. So when you have something that's all steel, it's going to be a kind of a cooler area. So that's been a big offering of ours, and we've seen the growth selling 100 frames a month, last year, to selling close to 1,000 across the U.S. and that trend is going to continue. Yeah. And then the dispensary systems. If any of us go to and stay in a hotel, we're going to use that bar of soap once. We're going to toss it right in the trash can. There's a lot of waste going on there for the product itself and the environment with plastic wrappers and things like that. So I'm starting to see a lot of trends moving towards the dispensary systems where customers just use what they need to. So I think those are the two biggest trends we're seeing.
How do you ensure that the quality meets that expectation that you've been so proud of for 30 years?
Yeah, I mean, it's in any industry or any business, in the supply business, it's definitely not 100% foolproof. So we have processes in place, and really it starts with our sales guys making sure they take the right order. So if you're getting plastic cups, make sure it's wrapped instead of unwrapped, and then sending the sales order for them to verify. It then goes into the warehouse. We have our warehouse guy pull it. He signs off on it. And then we have a third a layer of protection where our manager comes in, double checks it. And then an additional fourth layer where before it gets on the truck, that driver has to initial the paperwork to make sure that everything that's there is getting on his truck, and he's solely responsible for that. And I feel that process has worked well for us. Yeah.
So someone is looking at perhaps purchasing items from you. Is there can he call current customers to see how you're doing and executing on that?
Sure. We've grown a lot of our business through organic growth and referrals. So we're more than happy, to give customers referrals and ask them to call around to see if they're happy with our service. Sure. Yeah.
And Mahendra, anything to add on that? I know that your
Sure.
company is always working on trying to make sure you've got the right supply companies to help MHO hotels grow, just the way Ramayan's supply is
Sure,
grown.
definitely. We don't mandate any of the vendors. We open for all vendors. They can buy the products anywhere, wherever they can get best price, best products. That's our goal to them. I just told you before, ROI is our goal, to make our members get better ROI. That's why we make mandate. It's not making mandate anything. We can show them, that's the reason they can make better ROI.
We'll be back after a short break with MHO Hotel Insight.